Welcome to 40 Days of Personal Revolution with Om Yoga. For week 3, our focus will be on equanimity. So grab your mat and start yourself off in Child's Pose. Knees are wide, toes together, arms stretched out in front of you, allowing your forehead to rest on the mat. And just breathe. Finding those deep inhales and exhales as you prepare for your practice. Inhaling, come up to all fours, tabletop position, stacking wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. As you inhale, look up, drop the belly down. And as you exhale, round the spine, working your head down toward the ground. Again, as you inhale, look up, top of the head toward the tailbone. As you exhale, round the spine, nose to navel. Inhale up, cow pose. Exhale down, cat pose. One more time, inhale, coming up, cow. Exhale down, cat. Coming back to center, tuck the toes, hips come up and back, downward dog, pressing torso back toward the legs, through the hands, pushing through fingertips rather than through the wrists. Lift your tailbone up high, heels down low. Trying to find a nice long back leg. Pedaling out the feet, wag the tail, take some organic movement here. Then looking between the hands, walk the feet forward, hip width distance apart, grabbing onto opposite elbows, sway back and forth, ragdoll pose. So really allowing any tension to go out of the head, neck, and shoulders. Swaying back and forth, nodding head yes, shaking head no. Then release your hands down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up, reach up, working toward a slight back bend. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting the hands, step back to your high plank, lower forward and down as you exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhaling, downward dog. Again, lifting the hips up high, heels down low, pressing torso back toward your legs. Maybe finding organic movement this time, maybe working toward a still downward dog. Listening to your body. Looking between the hands, hop, walk, float forward. Inhale, halfway lift, exhaling, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. Again, reaching up, taking a slight back bend. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, planting hands, stepping back. Chaturanga as you exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Beautiful, nice job. Finding your strength in this pose, finding balance. Finding your breath. Then looking between the hands, make your way forward. As you inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees, Kitana, chair pose, lifting arms up high, drop shoulders down low as well as the hips, while lifting the 10 toes up off the ground. Rotating toward the big toe, the inner of the foot. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, planting hands, come back to high plank, and exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Raise your right leg up and step it forward. Warrior 1. Back foot pivots down to the ground. Pressing through the outside edge of the foot, focusing on squaring the hips, so maybe taking the hands down to the hips to physically square them up, and lifting heart up toward the sky, dropping hips down low, squeezing heels together, and breathe. As you exhale, open up, Warrior 2. Back foot is now parallel to the back of your mat, right knee peels out toward right pinky toe. Lunging forward, finding that 90-degree angle as you tuck hips underneath, and drop the shoulders down the back, squeezing the spine. Cartwheel your hands down to the ground, step back to a high plank, and then lower forward and down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog, and again, exhale, downward dog. Left leg comes up this time, stepping it forward, Warrior 1. Again, back foot pivots down to the ground, pressing through the outside edge, the knife edge of the foot. Square up the hips. Lift the heart up, lift the hands up, tucking tail underneath, squeezing heels together. Drop the shoulders down. And maybe finding a smile. Exhale, open up, Warrior 2. Again, back foot now is parallel to the back of your mat. Left knee peels out toward left pinky toe, drawing hips underneath the shoulders, dropping shoulders down the spine. Nice job. Finding that 90-degree before cartwheeling the hands forward. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Beautiful. Take a moment. Look between the hands, making your way forward as you inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Again, inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. This time focusing on smiling as the quads burn, as you drop your hips down. Maybe you adjust your hair, which happens sometimes in a yoga class. Lifting all 10 toes. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Planting the hands, come back to your high plank, lower forward and down, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Again, right leg lifts up and back, step it forward, warrior one. Again, focus on those square hips dropping low. Squeezing heels together, tuck the tail, lift the heart, and open up, warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat, right knee peels out toward right pinky toe, sink deep. And hands come back down to the ground, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhaling, downward dog. Bringing left leg up to the sky, again step it forward, warrior one. Finding that squareness in the hips, squeeze heels together. Confidence in this pose. Equanimity here. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat. Again, hips stay tucked under, heels squeeze together. And cartwheeling, hands down to the mat, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, find your downward dog. Nice job. Raise your right leg up and back, bend your knees, stack your hips, taking the gaze under the right arm. Open the hips up. Before stepping the right foot forward, Crescent Lunge, dropping hips low down to the ground, staying up on the ball of the back foot. Inhale, arms lift up. Heart lifts. Working toward tucking the tail, finding at least a 90-degree angle in that lunge. Hands come through, heart center, take a twist. Left elbow, right knee. Opening the arms up, finding a deeper twist with each exhale. Nice job. Bringing hands back to center. Then pivot the back foot so the back foot is now parallel to the back of your mat. Extended side angle, Parsvakonasana. Again, a couple different arm variations here. Resting the right knee, elbow on the knee. Working toward a bind. If you bind, drop the left shoulder back. Really pressing hips underneath. Squeeze heels together. Then hands come back down to the ground. High plank, low plank. Again, finding your inhale on your upward dog. And exhaling into your downward dog. Left leg up and back. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Gaze comes under the left arm this time. Open up the hips before stepping that left foot forward again into a lunge. Staying strong in the legs, low in the hips. Drop down, lift the heart up. Nice job. Engaging the quads, engaging the glutes. Hands come through heart center, take your twist. Right elbow, left knee. Again, finding your arm variation that works for you, but finding a deeper twist with each exhale. Elongate on the inhales. Hands come back to heart center. Opening back up, extended side angle. Back foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Finding what arm variation works for you today. Maybe working toward that bind. And again, dropping the right shoulder back if you do find it. Tucking tail underneath, squeezing the heels together. Great job. Hands come down to the ground, stepping back, high plank. Now center the right hand below the body, side plank, Vastisthasana, lifting the hips up high. Finding a different leg variation, maybe working toward a tree version. Lift the hips up a little higher. Working maybe the gaze up toward the fingers, toward the ceiling. Then hands come back down to your high plank, this time centering left hand below the body. Side plank. Taking whatever leg variation you did on the other side as we work toward equanimity, as we work toward balance in our body, balance in our mind, balance in our spirit. Lift the hips a little higher. Then bringing both hands back down to the ground, high plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, make your way to downward dog. Looking between the hands, come forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Lifting hard up high. This time bringing hands through heart center, take a twist. So left elbow comes to right knee. Check the alignment of your knees to make sure one isn't jutting in front of the other. Then press palms together firmly or open the arms out. As you inhale, elongate the spine. As you exhale, twist. Finding a nice twist in the spine. Sinking deeper in the hips. Lifting the toes up just like you would in any other chair. Come back to center, hands come through heart center. And then taking the twist on the other side again, checking the alignment of the knees. Palms pressing firmly against one another or opening the arms up, leveraging into a deeper twist. Again, as you inhale, elongate the spine. As you exhale, twist deeper. Nice job. Sink a little deeper. One more big breath. Come back to center and exhale, fold forward. Feet come hip-width distance apart. Taking your first two fingers, grab onto your big toes. As you inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, pull yourself down. Elbows work toward the back of the body rather than out to the sides. Let go here, release. Find your balance and equanimity in this forward fold by leaning slightly into the toes. Then release. Fingers come out from underneath you. Bend your knees, stepping on the palms of your hands this time. As you inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, let the head drop. Slowly straighten the legs. Parangustasana, or gorilla pose. Again, the more you move into the toes, the more you'll stretch out the hamstrings and the low back. So while it might be a little uncomfortable for your hands, find that length in the back of the leg. Nice job. Stepping off, taking the hands from underneath your feet. Heel toe your feet back together. As you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up. And exhale them through heart center. Hands come back to the sides. Mountain pose. Shoulders tucked back, hips tucked underneath. And smile. As you inhale, arms come up. Garudasana, eagle, by wrapping right arm underneath your left. Bending at the knees, wrapping right leg around the left as well. Maybe once, maybe twice. Squeezing legs together, lifting the elbows up as you drop the hips. So squeezing the body together, finding that center line is the most important part of this, as well as your drishti, your eye focus. Step out of it, unravel the arms. They come back up toward the sky. We'll take it on the other side. The left arm wraps underneath. Again, bending at the knees. Wrap the left leg around the right. Again, as you squeeze legs together, squeeze arms together, find that center line, that point of equanimity. Beautiful. Stepping out of it. Arms come back up to the sky. Then take your right arm back behind you, grabbing onto your right foot. Thumb to big toe. So you can stay here or begin to hinge forward at the hips, dancer's pose. Focusing on keeping the hips square to the ground, so dropping that right hip slightly. Kicking into the hand to find nice deep back bend and open the shoulder. Come back to standing. Other side. So inhale, arms come back up. Left hand drops back behind you, reaching for your lifted left foot. Again, thumb to big toe, hinge at the hips. Nadaranjasana, dancer's pose. Keeping hips square to the ground, reaching forward and kicking into the hands simultaneously. Coming back to center and relax down. We'll work into tree pose. So you can work with a kickstand tree where the right foot comes to the ankle, to the shin, or all the way up to the thigh, finding whatever pose works best for you, pressing left foot firmly into the ground, hands come to heart center. Find your drishti. Find your center line, then begin to grow your tree as you see fit. Nice job. Squeezing leg into foot, foot into leg. Lift the heart. Bringing hands back to heart center, step out of it. We'll take it on the other side. Again, working with whatever foot placement is best for you today. That kickstand option, foot to shin, or foot all the way up into the thigh. Again, pressing foot and thigh together to find your balance. Hands come to heart center. And again, growing as you see fit. Staying strong in the body, rooted in the earth. Press firmly through your right foot. Nice job. Come back to center. Hands come through heart center. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands. Step back to your high plank. Lowering down slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then dropping onto the belly. Untuck the toes. We'll work towards Shavasana. So working your arms back behind you, palms facing down. Inhale, lift the body up as much as you can off the ground. Working toward keeping only the belly on the ground. So lifting through the toes, through the crown of the head. Relax down, arms drop to the sides. Turn your head to the right. Maybe rocking your hips from side to side very softly. And we'll find another locust, lifting back up, engaging basically every muscle in the body, squeezing legs together. Again, lifting through toes and the crown of the head, maybe interlacing your fingers at your low back to open the shoulders a little bit more if you prefer that variation. Lift a little higher, then drop back down. Hands come back down to the ground, head turns to the left. Again, taking that gentle rock from side to side with the hips. Bend the knees, grab onto your feet or ankles, coming into Dhanurasana, bow pose. Again, lifting through the crown of the head and the toes. Lift up high, finding that back bend. Maybe rocking forward and back if you'd like. Maybe not. Lift up a little higher, reach. Then taking both hands below the face, stacking fingers on top of one another. Rest your forehead on the ground. Rock your feet from side to side like windshield wipers. Before extending legs straight out on the mat, hands come alongside you, pressing up into your all fours and coming up onto the knees as we prepare for Camel Pose. Hands come to the low back, fingers pointing down. As you inhale, lift the heart up, drop the head back. As you exhale, press the hips forward. Again, we've been working with some back bends, but it's always smart to prep a little bit first rather than going straight into it. Inhale, come back up and make your way into Child's Pose, finding a nice round spine. Arms can come alongside you this time, or out in front like we did when we began. Inhaling, coming back up to the knees, taking it to the next level. So tucking toes underneath, grab onto your ankles. As you inhale, lift the heart. As you exhale, press the hips forward, drop your head back, finding a nice deep back bend. And taking a few breaths, allowing yourself to find a new depth with each exhale. Nice job. As you inhale, come back up to center, back into Child's Pose. Again, finding a round spine after all of our back bends. Get yourself back to where you need to be. This counter pose. Finding yourself balanced. One more time, inhale back up to the knees. Again, finding your deepest back bend, maybe keeping toes untucked. As you inhale, heart lifts. As you exhale, press hips forward. Camel Pose, Ustrasana. Maybe working into Kapotasana if that's a part of your practice today, but not worrying about it. Come back up to center, back into your Child's Pose. And take a few moments, again, to come back to this balance. Hands come out in front of you, lifting up through tabletop position back to downward facing dog. Taking a breath. Before looking between your hands, walk the feet forward, come down onto your seat. Slowly rolling yourself with control down onto your back. We'll set up for bridge pose. So heels come close to the hip bones, to the seat. Arms alongside you. As you inhale, lift the hips up strong. Hands interlace underneath you, walking shoulders inward and down away from the ears. Focusing on keeping knees hip-width distance apart from one another. Lift the hips up high and find your breath. Drop the hips down to the ground, arms obviously come to the sides. Rock the knees from side to side like windshield wipers. And then we'll set up for another bridge. Again, lifting hips up high, interlace the fingers, maybe grabbing onto the sides of your mat if you prefer. Again, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the quads. Lift a little higher. Nice job. Lowering hips back down to the ground, arms come back alongside you. Rock the knees from side to side. Then setting up for your final bridge, or wheel if you'd rather. Lifting up through the hips, press firmly through the shoulders if you are in wheel. Again, keeping knees hip-width distance apart just as you would in bridge. Allowing the heart to move away from the hips to find a nice deep back bend. If you are in wheel, remember to tuck your chin first before coming down. And wherever you are coming back down to the ground, hips come back down, rocking knees again from side to side. Beautiful. Before pulling knees into the chest, pull them close. And placing soles of the feet together, knees go wide on the mat. Then drawing one hand to your heart, one hand to your low belly, Shavasana. Allowing yourself a chance to reconnect with the body, reconnect with this state of equanimity. Noticing just the simple rise and fall of your chest and belly as you inhale and exhale. Taking hands alongside you, lifting legs straight up toward the sky, and then shoulders up. Drop one leg down 45 degrees, interlace hands behind your head. We'll pulse up together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both legs come up, hands out at the sides. Holding here, lift the shoulders up high. Point the toes toward the sky. Nice job. Lower the legs 30 degrees. Stay strong. Keep working. Find your breath. Lowering the legs 30 degrees again. You've got this. Stay focused. Lowering the legs to just a hover above the ground. Here you go. Find a little bit. Then making your way into boat pose. You've got this. Stay strong. Lift the heart up. Climb through the top of the head toward the sky. Climb the toes up a little higher. Beautiful. With control, lower the legs down to the ground. Nice job. Sitting up tall into staff pose to begin. Then cross left ankle over right knee. Stop 1. If this is enough for you, stay there. Then pick the foot up, sort of cradle it a little closer to the body, or wrap both arms around. Latching the hands together, pull the leg close in, sitting the heart up tall, keeping your spine straight as you pull your bent knee close, tight to your torso. Stepping left foot over your right leg, take a twist so right elbow comes in front of the right knee. Planting left hand behind you. As you inhale, sit up tall. As you exhale, twist deep. Ardha Matsyendrasana. A nice twist for your spine. Beautiful. Come back to center, straighten the legs back out, sit up tall. Right ankle over left knee. Again, stop number 1. If this is enough for you, stay here. If you'd like a little bit more out of the hip opener, grab onto your foot and knee, pull them a little closer. If you'd like to take it to a full rock the baby, wrap the arms fully around, pulling the bent knee close to the body, sit up tall with the torso. Maybe rocking very slightly from side to side to get a little more openness in the hip as well. Sitting up a little taller, pull the leg close. And then stepping right foot to the outside of the left knee. Again, taking your twist. Left elbow goes in front of the right knee. Planting right hand back behind you as you inhale, sitting up tall. As you exhale, pressing against the knee. Find that twist, that release of toxins in the torso. Beautiful. Coming back to center, both legs come out in front of you, then coming down onto your back. Work into shoulder stand or a different inversion if you prefer. Taking hands to the low back for shoulder stand, lifting toes up toward the sky. Squeeze your glutes, your quads, tucking navel in towards spine. And really pressing through shoulders and the top of the arm here. Maybe playing with different leg variations. Plow pose, Padasana if you prefer. And then coming back to center, knees go around the ears, rolling slowly with control back onto your back. Taking legs straight out in front of you. Hands come underneath the seat, palms facing down, fish pose. Lifting up through the heart, drop the head back. Finding a nice arch in the back in this posture. Maybe for a deeper challenge, lifting the legs up off the ground, point the toes. Still lifting the heart. Lowering legs back down to the ground and body back down to the ground. Removing arms from underneath the body. Now lifting right leg up toward the face. Grab onto the thigh or the calf or the ankle. Pulling the right leg close down toward you. Climbing through the heel toward the sky. Toes again pointing toward the face. Finding further depths as you pull the leg close. Keeping left leg extended out on the mat. And simply breathe. Taking right fingers to big toe. Open out to the side. If you need to bend the knee as you open out, that's okay. Work towards straightening though as you open. Left hand goes to your left hip as a reminder to keep the hip dropped on the ground as you open out. Really allowing for that hip flexor to open up. Stretch it a little deeper before bringing back to center. Release your toes and slowly take the right leg down to the ground. Left leg comes up. Again, grabbing behind the thigh. Pull it close down toward the face. Maybe working up toward the calf, the ankle, or even onto the toes. Using a strap in this pose is really helpful if you have a strap at home, or just a cloth or towel will do as well. Again, keeping right leg extended straight out on the mat. Left fingers go to left toe, open out to the side. Again, right hand comes to the hip bone as a reminder to keep it down as you open out. Extending through the fingers, allow yourself to stretch, to find further depth with each exhale, just like we would in any other pose. Bring the leg back to center and lowering it back down to the ground. Then bringing both knees into your chest, grabbing onto your feet, happy baby. Pressing knees down to the outsides of the body. Hands can be on the insides or the outsides of the feet, preferably the outsides. Maybe rocking back and forth, all the while working skull and sacrum down to the ground. Maybe extending the feet out, the legs out through the hands, finding another little bit of hip opener here. And bringing knees back into your chest. Extend your right leg straight out on the mat. Left knee crosses over the body for a twist, keeping shoulders planted in the ground and head and belly working opposite direction of your knee. Allowing the body to slow down, to come back to its natural rhythm of breath. Make your way back to center, knees come back into the chest, pull them close. Then left knee comes out. Right knee crosses over the body. Again, twisting this direction, shoulders stay planted in the ground, head and belly working opposite direction of the knee. Again, slowing yourself down. Noticing the simple rise and fall of your chest. Making your way back to center. Bring both knees back into your chest. Pull them close. Maybe bringing the face up close toward them as well. Give them a little kiss if you're feeling playful. Acknowledging how hard the legs work. Then taking both legs straight out on the mat. Adjusting the hips, the shoulders. Arms fall out at your sides. Palms facing up. Toes drop out to the sides. Finding this place of rest, of stillness, of surrender. Inhale, fill up the lungs. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale, filling up the lungs. Open the mouth, exhale. One more time, inhale, fill the lungs. Opening the mouth, release, let go, surrender. Shavasana.
Okay, go.
Slowly come back to the body. Wiggling fingers and toes. Refilling up the lungs by inhaling the arms up overhead. Reaching through both hands and feet. Reawaken. Bringing knees in towards your chest. Roll over onto your right side. Curling up. Resting for just a moment. Coming back up to your seat. Hands, place palms together at your heart center. Acknowledging your practice. Being grateful for your body, all that it does for you. Bringing hands up to forehead center. And bow. Namaste. And here's a little message from your Amis. Have fun! Thank you guys so much for joining us. Namaste, and we'll see you next week.